If you're in the US, you're probably familiar with the big box stores. I can't deny that the deals are amazing, but every time I step foot in one, I can't help but feel a certain way. I mean, the food comes in massive boxes, perfectly packaged, and the produce is shipped from all over the world. Not even sure where it comes from, and I can only imagine what happens to all the packaging and leftovers. I know it's kind of silly to have this existential crisis in a Costco, but this has been a reoccurring feeling lately, every time I step outside. A feeling that we're so disconnected from life, real life. I still think it's wild that we can just drive up to a window and get food handed to us within minutes, and that we can walk into a store and do all of our shopping without interacting with a single soul. We socialize and get updates through apps on our phones. So, no surprise that I feel so detached, and I know that I'm not the only one who feels this way. I benefit from the modern world as much as the next person, but the more that the world advances, it seems like we're leaving behind what's so important: connection, tradition, basic skills, and timeless wisdom. Really, at what point does convenience become isolation? At what point does comfort become complacency? And what is the real price that we're paying for all of this? In my ideal world, we would all have a bit of land to grow our own produce, learn how to make our own stuff in our free time, and thrive in a tight-knit community. One day, I hope it comes true. But I also don't think that this ideal life is the only way to be more grounded and intentional. I think that it's very possible to make simple lifestyle changes to find the right balance between our modern lives and timeless values. If everyone were to be healthy, happy, and content, how many companies would go out of business? I think about this so often. If we all had an active lifestyle, would we really need to go to the gym? If we could all have access to fresh produce, would we need supplements or new health fads every season? If we socialized with our neighbors, the cashiers, and everyone in the community, would we still feel lonely? I always felt like so much of the quote-unquote solution is for problems that don't need to exist in the first place. When we reduce it down to the basics, we wouldn't need to pay for all of these subscriptions, memberships, and fees to have our most basic needs met. As I've been eliminating things from my life, I've been slowly going back to the basics. It doesn't feel like I'm going backwards, but feels like a nice change. Going out of my way for face-to-face interactions, instead of buying healthy foods according to the labels, just eating whole foods. Instead of taking time for myself, embracing a slower pace. That phrase, "don't fix what's not broken," it's been my motto for the past couple of years, and it really makes things simpler. I always felt like we could learn so much from nature. In the natural world, growth and transformation is never rushed. There's an order and a place for everything, big or small, and nature knows how to adapt and sustain itself. I truly believe that if we model our lives to nature, that we might catch onto its wisdom. So I'm still going to Costco, but I'm trying to shop according to the different seasons. I'm trying to respect my circadian rhythm by stepping into the sunlight in the mornings and turning on some candles and shutting off my phone in the evenings. I'm learning to respect even the littlest things and becoming more aware that my lifestyle choices can affect something else. The best way to describe it is that I feel less like a robot who is just going through the motions, and it makes me feel connected to my community, to the change of the seasons, and to life, as if I'm part of something much bigger than myself. There's always a discussion on what is the big meaning in life. Some claim that there is no meaning at all. But what if we choose to find meaning in the smallest things in life? Like watering the plants every day, making a cup of tea, walking our dogs. What if these things are not just tedious chores to upkeep our lives, but a way for us to bring meaning into our own lives? I recently took a trip to Japan and went to a tea ceremony. I've always wanted to go to one, and it was so fascinating to learn all the details that went into it. The etiquette, the hospitality, the mindfulness that goes into making just one cup of tea. It almost forces you to slow down and appreciate the moment, every single little movement, because of the care and thought that goes into it. And I thought that it was so beautiful. And then I thought, no wonder I feel so detached with the rise in the to-go, mass-produced, outsourced culture. I wish that we could go back to putting thought and care into even the smallest gestures. So create a daily ritual and fall in love with it, because ultimately, they might be what gives meaning to our lives and maybe even touch the lives of others around us. As someone whose work revolves around social media, I take an interest in knowing how the algorithm works. On one hand, it's really helpful to have a feed curated just for you. But on the other hand, it can create a little bubble of our own individual reality. One minute I'll be researching all the things to do in Tokyo, and next thing, my homepage on all platforms will be filled with articles of the same top places to go. You guys know the effect. And as amazing as it is to literally have any information at the tip of my fingers, I never want to lose the magic of getting lost or figuring it out as I go, forming my own opinions, trying it out for myself in the real world. Because what we gain through experience is all that matters in the end. Knowing how much time we are all connected to our tech devices, it makes me think that this bubble might be the reason why we feel so out of touch with reality. I think more than ever, I appreciate hugging a friend in person, going to the library, museums, organic talents, and art, and even shopping in person. Like I said, my wish is not going backwards in life, but knowing how to embrace progress without losing what's fundamental. In other words, integrating tech in a balanced and intentional way. I guess our challenge is figuring out how. Maybe we only use social media apps to learn and gain value instead of doom scrolling or using it as an entertainment for hours. Maybe we cut that expensive gym membership, but spend that money to shop at the farmer's market instead. Maybe we use that delivery app service, but start cooking more meals at home. Maybe only going on YouTube to watch cooking videos. Whatever it is, it definitely shouldn't replace enjoying a good old book, learning to make meals, or going out into the real world. You have to know your own lifestyle and know how to make it fit. But I do think that knowing where technology can fit into our lives and knowing the limits will be so crucial moving forward. I spent 2 weeks in Japan and I've been sick for the last week, as you can hear in my voice. But I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll talk to you really soon. Take care.